Hey guys, Boone down south here. Today I'm going to show you about my new Wilderness Systems Kayak Krate that I just got. Going on a trip in a couple of days. We're going to test it out on a 15-mile, 16-mile float down the Broad River, doing some smallmouth fishing. But I have been using the typical milk crate type setup and fashioned my, fishing rod holders over there and a bungee to hold stuff in place. And I really thought I wanted something a little more watertight, waterproof. And I'm doing some research, and this is pretty expensive. I'm not going to kid you. It's expensive for what you get. I mean, it's basically a souped up cooler with a lid and stuff. But I like the way it latches. I like the top part of the handle stuff. So what I'm going to do in this video is kind of give you an overview of this little thing, and then we're going to put it to the test, see how well I like it compared to my old style setup. That's basically it. Just hit that like and subscribe, and hit that little bell to get notified when I put new videos out. All right, so one thing I saw on Amazon reviews was that a lot of people were getting these crates and the plastic cover was all scuffed up. And a lot of people were complaining, hey, look, I know it's gonna get scuffed up in the use of my kayak, getting tossed around and all that kind of stuff, but at least I wanna scuff it up when it's this expensive. I checked this in the store before I brought it home, and there are no scuffs on this lid. So just to kind of show you this, I just got it out of the box a minute ago. Really easy latches here, okay? That's just a quick section to get into to hold some whatever you want to put up there, some line cutters and maybe go-to lures or something like that, scissors, whatever. Real easy to unlatch and latch, hooks on there. And then if you pop these two, that whole front top, or the top lifts up, right? And this is all the hardware for mounting your rod holders. And basically this will fit X number of Plano type boxes, certain sizes. I think the 7200, 7300s, X number of each one of those in here. And the way they set this up, again, easy latches to get into it. So when it's behind your seat there, they got a lot of latch points here for latching this down in case you flip your kayak here. Easy handles, which I like here. It's lightweight. Now you can see all the holes on the side. Those are for mounting the fishing rod holders, of which you get 4. And you can set them directly vertical, like I have on this, or you can set them at an angle. And I've often thought about redoing this to set at an angle just to bring the rods down a little bit more for me. And so I think I'm going to do these at an angle on this one. So I'm going to get that set up and get these rod holders on here. We'll show you what I got. I'm going to put my tackle over here to this, get this thing set up how I think I'm going to want to use it this weekend while I'm out, and then we'll put it through the real world test. So, okay, so no instructions came with this. I mean, there's not much going on here. But basically, this is what you're going to mount your rod holder to, okay? And basically you can either do them straight like that, or you can do them at an angle, and you can have it front and back like that. So, and then once this is mounted on here, these 2 holes are where the rod holder will go on to, okay? So that's the plan. Now, the thing is, in the bag, you get 2 types of screws. They both have the same size threads, and so you're trying to figure out which one goes where. And what I've determined is that you will use the screw that has the Allen wrench head to mount the mounting bracket to the crate, and you will use the pan head Phillips bolt to go through and mount your rod holder to the bracket. So that's the plan. All right, so rod holders are on. That's what it looks like when they're angled. So we'll start moving some tackle over, see how it feels. All right, just the first setup. I don't have everything I need in here yet to fill out this top section. This there's latches that'll latch this down to the kayak, so don't worry about that. But then inside, if you kind of look in here, I've got a number of things that I've got in here. I got my Plano trays, some bigger ones, some smaller ones. I've got my Z-Man packet. I've got my bag of other plastics in here, and just some miscellaneous stuff. It all fits in there nicely. The problem with the crate was that things fall to the bottom, and then I can't find the stuff, and I'm having to pull stuff out, and I'm like, the heck with it, and it's bungee. I got lazy and stopped putting the bungee on it because I'm out there fishing. I just want to fish. I want to have to move things around and get the bungee on here, and I think this is going to provide a little better organization for me. And I'm going to put some labels right here so I can read what these boxes are. As I look in real quick, I can just pull the box out. And so that's really what I'm looking to do. We'll give it a go and see how it goes for me this weekend. All right, so this is my first time using the Wilderness Systems Kayak Krate. First time for a couple things. My other crate, I had 3 rods just on this side. They were all vertical. I went with the angle to see if that might be a little better. And I got rods on 2 sides, so I'm gonna have to do a little adjustment there. But overall, I've got a 17-mile float trip today, so we're really gonna put this to the test, see how functional it is. I'm hoping it's gonna do well for me, but it straps in here nicely into the bona fide. with the straps that come with the Bonafide, so everything's great. So hope it's gonna turn out good. All right, so one thing I will tell you, I have been happy with the crate because I do have quick, easy access to the top stuff, and all that stuff before was kind of like falling to the bottom of my crate or get lost under my seat. So that's nice. And then they're easy latches to get to these trays, and they pretty much stayed organized for me the whole trip. But the other thing I found out that I didn't know about, and I don't know if this was planned or not, but if you notice these rod holders here, right, when you slide that in, if you can kind of see right here, it's real tight right here, and it opens up, and it's pretty tight sliding that rod in. It's not, I gotta pull on it to get it out, right? So I was thinking maybe even put like a little clip to tether my rods on or something like that, but I really don't think you need to with this rod holder, because I think it actually grips hold of your reel there really good. So that's just another feature I'm kind of discovering while I'm using it. Like I said, there's no instructions or anything that came with it. So, but yeah, I mean, it's done good for this trip, and I'm happy. Okay, so one thing I want to point out to you, this was not in the instructions that came with it, because there was none that came with it. Online, I saw a little document that there's multiple configurations for this, and then you could take these rod holders and stand them at an angle or vertically. Another thing I found out is you've purchased 2 more additional rod holders from them. They say you can cut this piece off here and you can do 3 vertical on each side, so you can have a total of 6 rod holders if you want. I think they'd probably be $2 grand and more than most people need, but you could do that if you want. You have to give that lashing though. For the Bonafide, I like that lashing right there because it works perfect with my clip on right here when I hook this on. It's a perfect fit right there. So the other thing is, the way I have this mounted now, these are with extensions, and that was to get these rod holders up above. You can kind of see the angle there. If you had a narrow well back in your kayak where you put this, this kind of gets it above there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these extensions off, and I'm gonna go ahead and lower these rod holders down, and they'll come down about this height right here. So my rods won't be sticking up as tall as it were. So I'm gonna just do that real quick and put it in here and see how that looks. Okay, I got rid of the rod extenders. This is what it looks like. And you can see I don't have it lashed in there right now, but you can see I got plenty of room on all sides of here to move around. But it definitely lowers your rods. It's gonna lower your rod height, which is really good for, you know, you're in the rivers and stuff and you're going under trees and the current's taking you and all that kind of stuff. It just cuts down a little bit of the chances of getting your rods tangled up in the trees like that. The other thing to show you is really, you saw how I had it configured earlier, but this is what I've got in there now. Just to kind of show you an example here. These are actually Cabela's boxes, but they're the equivalent of the Plano 3700 boxes. And you can fit 5 of those in here nice. You have plenty of room to grab stuff. You still have a little bit of room to spare to stick something else in there if you need anything else. You know, you can fit 5 of them in there comfortably. Great size for that. Plenty of place. You can get to them easy. Just kind of give you some perspective of the sizing of this thing. But all right, here's my final thoughts on the Wilderness Systems Kayak Krate. Number 1, I like it. Okay, number 1, I think it's definitely a step up from my DIY crate with the rod holders. I do like that. I do like the flexibility of being able to adjust these rod holders at an angle straight up. Again, even with 6, you can do straight up or vertical. If you buy the additional ones, you just lose these 2 lashings. So it's versatile. They give you the extensions for other kayaks. It fits great in mine without the extensions, so I'd rather my rods lower. It's not waterproof, but it's water resistant for the inside when this is closed. And I do feel like I did a really good job on my last trip. Again, this was one of the longest day trips I've ever done. It was 17 miles. It held up well. The storage capacity is great, I think. So I love that. I love everything. I love how you got this lid here. Real easy latches to get to. When you're sitting in the kayak here, you just turn around, you can grab one thing and pop that lid up to get essentials if you need. And it's just 2 latches to get into the bottom part. Top lid stays shut to access your gear. Everything goes back in nicely. So I really like that. I think it's real functional. Definitely step up. Having said all that, when I bought this, the price tag was $170. Now I'm looking at it, it's $185 everywhere. I think it's way overpriced, okay? Just flat out. I think this ought to be a $100 item. It's nothing more than a small cooler. We added some, you know, some plastic tubes, some latches, and a tray. So, I mean, I think this would be, you know, better as a $99 item, but yeah. So I'm just gonna tell you the truth, it's expensive. I do like it, but it is pricey. I'm definitely gonna continue using it. I love it, it's definitely a step up, and I'm glad I got it, but it is definitely pricey. So just throwing that out there. Anyway, hit that like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, he's amazing. He's amazing.